Hello everyone, welcome to the Tech Podcast series. This is Lakshit Pant from Azure Developer Community, and today we are here again with another episode of the Tech series. And for today's episode, we have our industry leader, the CEO, the co-founder, and the CTO of WorkIndia, Moiz Arsiwala, and we'll be learning from his experience how he has been working in the startup industry and what is the current market trends that are going on in the market. And we have a couple of questions lined up for you all that will help you understand the emerging technologies and the future of the technical ecosystem that goes beyond, right? So just to kick off with a quick introduction of Moise, if you could introduce yourself first for our audience per se.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on this podcast. I'm part of the company called WorkIndia. We founded this company back in 2015, joined as part of the engineering team, and post that have been part of engineering since the inception. That's been my journey till now.
So I wanted to know your, pivotal moment, from your journey that significantly influenced to work around the approach for enabling tech solutions. Because when you have started, tech is not that much savvy, right? The geo part was just getting started, right? So making something tech enabled that helps even the blue and gray collar jobs, maybe workers especially. How do you saw that? How do you saw there is this opportunity that lies in the industry?
So back in 2015, when we were founding this company, what we understood, we started with a problem or solution focused approach towards this industry. So the problem that we figured out is in a blue collar industry, the speed of getting an employment or a job is very important, and we
Okay.
had to solve for speed because let's say in white collar, the typical industry that we have seen, it's always getting your best job, getting your dream job. But in the blue collar industry, it is important that a person has a job. It's a task oriented versus career orientation. So that's where we focus on the speed of hiring was a pivotal or a pivotal moment for us. That was a wow for us,
Okay.
that we need to optimize for speed. And second, we understood that this category, the blue collar category, has always been uh, duped by fraudsters who are offering job.
Right.
Were not actually offering the job. They were trying to make money out of this category, and we wanted to solve for the fraud jobs on the platform. And that's when these two were the two key insights that we always focused on while and are still trying to solve at our end.
So, when you talk about leveraging business and finding a business opportunity there in the blue collar and the middle class jobs, right? I just wanted to know how do you connect. I just wanted to understand a little bit more about the platform, and because these people that you are targeting, these are not even right now after the revolution, right? After the we can see that the significant changes that has been in the industry right now. These people are not that much, tech oriented, right? From a person, yeah, they are very aware now, but still there needs to be a gap that needs to be filled. So what do you think, and how does the platform look like that helps these people getting jobs per se? Because still I see people reacting those to those WhatsApp messages instead of going in a platform and really finding a job. They still that still works with a word of mouth. So how do you see this?
So we'll have to understand the landscape that we were born in the era of 2G. So I'll start with the journey. So back in time, internet was not prevalent. It was not available. It was
Right.
available but not available. So we started with the focus of having a simple application, a list of job which did not require internet. So everything used to happen in background. It was an offline app. And post that, what we understood is the experience has to be very simple. What I mean by experience has to be simple, it should be very simple for the people to understand what job has to be done on this application to make it useful for them. And that's where if you see the application, it is designed with a lot more simplicity. It's like a list, very similar to a WhatsApp list of chats. You see list of jobs, and then one click and you can directly make a call to the employer. That's simple it is. uh,
Okay.
we've spoken about this. We started with a thought process of providing meaningful livelihood to 23.7 crore blue collar workforce across India. And from that statement, we boiled it down to what were the two key problems that we wanted to solve in this industry. And from there, optimizing for simplicity. Things which look very simple are always difficult to build, but we focused on making it simpler for our user to go through the entire process. So uh, basically, you can make a call to an employer as simple as that. That you need a job, you come on Work India platform, you see a job, and you can directly call the employer. That's the aha moment, or we call it the instant gratification that gets generated in this category.
Now, as we speak about numbers, I wanted to know, right, uh, what does this market size looks like, right? The number of opportunities that you believe could be generated, and how much adoption did you see over the course of time till yet, right? If 100 people, and also with the number of people adopting it, I wanted to know the retention, right? If 100 people are, maybe downloading the app, how many people are really or actually getting the job, right? If you would, if you talk if we talk about the facts right over here.
So I'll talk about a bit of the number range. So we cumulatively have close to 3 crore downloads
Wow.
since the inception. Uh, Close to 4 lakh people come on our platform on a daily basis. Basically, हमारा गाँव जो है, that's what a 4 lakh. On a monthly basis, we acquire close to 8 lakh odd people. Uh, from a download standpoint, and close to 1.7 to 2 lakh people get job from our platform on a monthly basis. So that's broad number that we have.
Wow. And now if we talk about the maybe the security tech stacks or maybe technologies that prevent that huge amount of data that you are catering, right? How do you see this? Because when you are dealing with such kind of data, there comes multiple GDPR, ISO, there comes a lots of things, right? How do you see what is the best tech that is working for you all?
So what we understood that it's a massive opportunity, and the data that is getting generated based on the interaction, the behavioral data that we are collecting, it's increasing day on day. And at this point of time, the entire focus is to build efficient mechanisms to crunch this data and make it onto the what do we call it, dashboards, or make it actionable. So our entire focus has been towards how do we make the data that we are collecting more actionable. How do we make the relevancy or improve our relevancy? How do we make our fraud detection better? So that's something that we are continuously focusing on. How do we go and now target the L4, L5 level problems in our funnel to optimize for conversion? How do we make sure that every 100 people that are coming into our application, how do we convert and get them to the place of making a call on the platform and getting hired eventually?
Okay.
That's something that we are focusing on, and that's where the data engineering platform is where we are continuously investing, and basically trying to figure out how can we crunch the data faster.
If we talk about the technological trends, right, that are the shaping the organization's goal, how do you see, or where do you think the generative AI lands in, and at which part do you see the real significance of either generative AI or we say AI, right, or maybe the where is the automation part happening? I wanted to know in the entire structure of the technology.
So if I have to talk about the Gen AI paradigm, I think solving problems for we deal with small and medium sized businesses. In a small and medium sized business, an HR is effectively an admin person as well as could be the owner of the company as well. That's how the industry is placed. It's a small business of 10 people up to 100 people. So they might have an HR or they might not even have an HR. And that's where the uh, the problem lies. Like, how do we use Gen AI to make the assessment of a blue collar uh, uh, worker faster and effective? Uh, Let me put it in perspective. The use case that excites me is today. Let's say if 100 calls happen on the platform, the interview calls that happen on the platform, only 40% of the calls, or eventually 60% over 1.5 day gets are spoken. Basically, that's where the actual interaction happens. Uh, there is a room of those 40 calls which gets churned in the form of from a connectivity standpoint. There are multiple angles to it. You call someone, that person is not available, he will send a WhatsApp, etc., etc., etc. So the funnel is broken across the different parts of the conversation. To optimize it, can a virtual assistant pick up a call and do the basic assessment that is needed for a let's say a delivery boy, or for let's say a telecaller? Can it be done faster, and then the time to recruit can be optimized? That is a use case that we are actually excited about, and we are trying to see what can be done.
Wow. So if I say, if because I have gone through a lots of AI products, right? And still, if we talk about Microsoft, we are extensively going through the AI revolution right now at this point of time. And the 2024 is again will be very big in terms of AI when we speak about, right? How do you see AI coming in HR space, right? When I say HR space, not replacing, but from a help perspective, from a support perspective, right? So instead of some fixed questions to asking to every each one of the individual who is seeking a job, asking questions on a semantic manner and a dynamic format, right? On maybe if it is CV or whatnot, right? So AI is analyzing those parts and then conducting those calls or taking the interview part and whatnot. So how do you see the role here, and what do you think? How could this help in the AI industry or the work India?
I think the use case is very relevant. The only challenges that we see is how do we build that enough context around a conversation for a person who is hiring, let's say, a telecaller for a international BPO to a telecaller for selling a SIM card, or not a SIM card, a credit card. That's, this is the spectrum at which the competencies lie. How do we make let's say a virtual assistant, or how do we enable automation across uh, uh, this particular use case? Uh, Optimizing each and every point of the conversation is something that is I think we need to evaluate that particular thing, how that spectrum of people or assessment will happen. Uh, yeah, that is something that makes a lot more, that requires a lot more insight around the conversations that happen at a different level and different thought processes across the dynamic, the spectrum of people.
Right. I believe it's a very big challenge because when we talk about the maybe a little bit upper tier, on the job specifically, it's a bit easy, right? People have resumes, they have they have inbuilt profiles and whatnot, so one could analyze. But setting up a context, right, about the blue collar, red collar jobs, it's a daunting task, right? Yeah, fair enough. So moving ahead, I want to you to throw some lights on your thoughts on the recession period that has been through in 2023, and a little bit we can see right now because some big companies are still firing people and there are very less jobs I can see in the market. Like the recent survey of New York Times says, like from 7 lakh jobs on an average year, this time on an average employment, this time only 300 jobs were there. So this is a massive downfall that we saw from a jobs perspective. So how do you see this recession coming in, or is this really exist, or still we are in a hoax? So what are your thoughts on this?
I think let's divide the entire recruitment industry into two pieces: the India context and the Bharat context. I think from an India perspective, obviously there has been a lot more correction in the market that is happening after the gold rush or the great recession or whatever we call it. Sorry, the great resignation. Phase where it was a gold rush of getting, let's say, people with talent or with the white collar piece. Uh, Having said that, obviously there has been a slowdown in the market. But at a SMB level, SMB is small and medium-sized businesses. Uh, it has not slowed down at a pace of, let's say, an MNC laying off people. So a small, medium-sized business is still operational and it is growing continuously.
Right,
If we see the trends across the financial spectrum, money is getting generated and money is getting utilized continuously. Uh, Having said that, a lot more, I think discipline has come with recession across the small companies, the startup world, where the money was splurged extensively. That
fair.
splurging of industry has come down. It has become more logical and rational. Where do you want to invest money, or how do you want
Right,
to?
absolutely. People, and even somewhere it is because somewhere because I believe that discipline come because now the people are not getting that extensive funds that they were used to. Right now it's been more tradition. It's not that much traditional ways of getting funds right now. How do you define success for yourself? Maybe what are the matrices of success as a CTO of WorkIndia, and for your personal thoughts? And what do you think how this how the WorkIndia and this dynamic job marketplace industry defines the entire job industry?
Look at from work India context standpoint, our success lies in we staying relevant to our user for next, we call it as 100 years, but I would say next 10 to 15 years is something that that we have in our front of us, that we want to stay relevant in this industry. What I mean by staying relevant is being able to generate value for those small and medium-sized businesses in terms of helping them with their hiring requirements.
Right,
That's where the value creation or value generation plays an important role. Basically, if you are able to generate value for your customers, you will be successful. It's a matter of just people find success in 2 years, maybe 20 years. That's the only game that you have to play. Having said that, our immediate next focus is to make Work India sustainable. What it means is we want to hit profitability. It's still a cash burning business. What we see from a unit economics standpoint, this company has a very good, let's say from a GM standpoint, it's a 75% GM business. So how do we ensure that we grow business by keeping our cost in line and start generating money so that that can be funneled further for growth as well as for expansion. That is something that is what I'm uh, focused towards. What is the next thing that we want to hit? That's on the business side. From a technology standpoint, how do we ensure that we are able to help our users with respect to, let's say, employers, where speed of hiring is important, because in a blue collar context, every day a person or your salesperson does not turn up or your telecaller does not turn up, you lose money. So attrition is something that has to be solved for, and that can be just replaced with hiring. So attrition can be solved with hiring, and how do we
Right.
optimize the speed of hiring? That is one focus from an objective standpoint. And second is how do we avoid fraud that happens on the platform? In the name of job, you are being offered what do we call it, the MLM multi-level marketing schemes, or you are called by a consultant who is trying to just make money out of a registration fees of 250,000 rupees, or the vulgar jobs that we get on the platform in terms of personal favors or such kind of job profile. How do we avoid fraud on our platform? These are the two technical challenges that we want to solve for. How do we make our fulfillment better, and how do we avoid fraud on the platform? These are the
Wow.
two technological problems or technology focused problem statements that we want to focus on. Apart from ensuring that our systems are scaled for, we are able to scale our systems effectively as our user grows on the platform. That is something that that's a continuous effort with respect to adopting the chaos philosophy and ensuring that we are able to fix things before they break.
Yeah, sounds like a very thoughtful note that you have shared with us, and your vision that is very clear. I really like talking to you, aspiring, entrepreneurs like you who are very clear from the mindset, and the product that you are building really solves a major problem here in India. And now going forward in the industry, it's going to be much more significant if we see from a 30,000 feet where we are moving more around the technical sectors, right? So yeah, I so you guys are really doing a great job, and best of luck, best wishes to you, and the great work that you are doing. And any last final note you want to share with our industry, all the listeners?
Thank you for the opportunity. I think one thought that I want to leave across people is, which is one of our core values, never give up. So I think that that mindset of fighting back during the adversities or during the tough time is what defines us as a human race, and that has to be continued as an individual as well.
Yeah, definitely. Consistency is the key. So yeah, let's keep building every day. So thank you for joining us, Moise, for taking your time out and just coming up here for the this short discussion. Right, it was fun. It was really a great experience talking to you, and looking forward to collaborate more in future, where we see you in some offline manner and we understand from your perspective about the technical aspects. So thank you for joining in. Thank you to all the listeners who are joining in for this podcast. We are coming up with some amazing initiatives this year. This year, 2024, is gonna be your year, and we are really working hard to make it yours. So thank you, everyone. See you next time. Thank you.